inventory loan, and then they would sit on it. They would organize their inventory, look so pretty, and never sell it. And so then they would get mad at me for, the inventory order, and I would feel bad. And I thought, gosh, 16 years of this, I don't know my integrity. I don't know how much more I can do this. So while that was happening, I got divorced, got remarried, and had trouble having babies. And anybody had fertility issues in this room before? Maybe you don't want to raise your hand, or you know somebody who has, right? So I was having challenges with that, and I thought, gosh, we were back in the day when there was no internet, no cell phones, all the things. Do I sound like I'm Noah's sister? Does anybody feel it? Who's been around since there was no internet, no cell phones, no none of that? So I was building my business in that age, and in order for me to hit that top rank of the company, I would have had to travel all over the United States doing guest events and hotel meetings, and I thought, there's no way I cannot have a brand new newborn who I'm really trying to have a baby, right? There's just no way to make any of that happen. So I made a really difficult decision because I was tired of selling inventory orders when people would get mad at me, and I really wanted to start a family with my new husband. So I looked for a job in the newspaper. Does anybody remember those? You guys, I'm so dating myself, right? Okay, who reads a newspaper today? Anybody still? Couple of you? I love it. I love it.
In newspaper.
I love it, right? Yeah, my mom did too, actually. I like the smell of paper, just like a regular book. I'm kind of, I don't know, old school that way. But anyway, saw a job in the newspaper in a network marketing company, and it was very similar to what I was doing in the field. And I just thought to myself, this is going to be so hard to walk away from this team, but at the same time, at least I get to still stay doing what I'm doing. And I'm so grateful for that moment because I got to learn the corporate side of network marketing. So I went in and I got to manage all 5 regions of sales and really just help their top leaders learn how to do what I had just got them doing. So it was a super fun job. I loved it. Anybody ever been to a Tastedly Simple party before where you did a little bit of food? No? Yes? Okay, there's a couple people.
I got some.
Okay, good.
They
Yep.
have good meals.
They have great Wahoo chili is my favorite spice that they sell. Chili doesn't taste the same without it. So loved my time there. I spent 4 years there, and then that's kind of where my journey started. So I got recruited to work at Melaleuca. If you've ever been a Melaleuca customer before and used their products, I've used their products for 12 years. Loved the company there. The best corporate training I've ever had is definitely by Frank Vandersloot, who owns Melaleuca. And then I got recruited to move to Arizona to work for Plexus Worldwide. So if you know anything about the pink drink, that is where I worked. And then finally got recruited to be the president of North America for Young Living and worked there for 4 years. So anybody essential oil people? Okay, so we've got you all in the room, right? I've covered everything we're all using, I think, just about. What else did I miss? We've got oils and cleaning supplies and what else?
Pampered Chef. I have a lot of that I don't use.
That is one thing I've never done. Yeah.
I
love
Pampered
Pampered
Chef.
Chef.
I don't cook right
I love it. It's just taken out of the box and it looks like homemade if you put it on a plate, right? Anyway, needless to say, I loved all of my time at all of those companies, and I don't know if I ever saw myself back in the field again, except for when I was working my Young Living job, it was during COVID. And anybody been through COVID? Right? All of us. Were you guys all building the business during COVID?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know what it was like. It was crazy, right? People were at home, sick, all the things. Well, I was managing supply chain during that time, marketing, sales, 700 employees that were indirectly or directly reporting up through me. And it was really, really stressful. And what I didn't know, and the part of the story that I didn't share with you is, for the years that I was living in Arizona, I started gaining a ton of weight, and I really didn't know what was going on with my body, but I was hitting perimenopause and just didn't know about perimenopause. So for a lot of you who've been through that or are going through that, you understand it fully. I just didn't recognize it. And so I kept gaining weight, didn't know what was happening. And I'll come back around to the Young Living story because it matters. I started to develop an ovarian cyst, but didn't know what it was. And I was scared to go to the doctor. Anybody ever been there before? Like, you know something's wrong, but you don't dare go. Well, that's me. I'm a hypochondriac for sure. And I just was gonna let it go. I thought, oh, let's just go away. And then when I saw a doctor during COVID, she said, oh, it's menopause belly. Well, she only saw me from here up, right, on a Zoom. And so what she didn't see is that I started to look pregnant, and really pregnant. And so I just thought, this is crazy. And at the end of my time at Young Living, the cyst was 44 pounds. So generally about out to here. I was in extra large maternity clothes. Before the president of Young Living called and said, if you don't get your butt to the doctor, I'm coming over right now and I'm taking you in. And I'm like, okay, I'll drive myself in. Drove myself in. My belly was touching the steering wheel. I was as far away from the pedal as I could be. And the first person said to me, oh my gosh, are you about to give birth to your baby? And I was like, I just started sobbing, and I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. And anyway, long story short, it was all good. It was just a cyst that was filled with fluid, no cancer, all the things that were good. But when I had the surgery, the doctor came in and said, I want to ask you 2 questions. Number 1, do you want to see what I took out of you? Which, yes, I have pictures to prove. Looks like an alien brain. And would you like me to give you a piece of advice? And then she also asked, of course, do you want to know how big it was? And I was like, I cried because she took bandages off, and I'm like, you know what it's like to be pregnant? Anybody been pregnant in here before, right? You can't see anything, right? From here down forever. You're like, and so for a year, 2 years, I couldn't see my feet, right? Just, it was crazy. So I cried, and then she said, this is the deal. Your job is so stressful that the only thing that's going to heal you from the inside out is to take a different turn. Like, you have to get out of this job. You cannot do this anymore. And I cried because I worked so hard in corporate to be this female that was powerful and, you know, all these things. And I went home and I was like, I probably lasted 3 more weeks at the job until they told me, the owner told me that I looked like a cross between a prostitute and a Barbie doll. And she said, you have to lower your look, cut your hair, get rid of your eyelashes, to be able to be more relatable with our field. And all it was is that I lost 70 pounds and I was in leggings and she didn't like the way that I looked. And I thought, this is some abuse. This is not right. And so I made a decision that I was just gonna live on love for about a year with my husband, not work. You know, we just thought we're gonna live on whatever tiny bit of savings we have. And then the mental wellness company fell in my lap because, of course, you can imagine what that mentally does to you, right? You're huge, you're small, she calls me a prostitute, this is crazy, like I'm not even a normal person. And so the products made a difference for me, and I thought, well, I'm not gonna build a business, I'm literally just gonna try the product. And of course, what do you think? I did my first Facebook Live. Anybody ever done a Facebook Live before? You guys didn't have a clue 3 or 4 years ago what I was doing. Didn't know Facebook Live, didn't know social media, didn't have a following, other than the people that I knew for years from, you know, building relationships, just person to person. And 23 people decided they wanted to try the product I was. And I was like, well, shoot, now what am I gonna do? I have customers, this stinks. And 3 people wanted to build a business. And I thought, I guess I'm gonna build a business for a while and see how this goes. And it ended up being, you know, 0 to 110,000 team members in 3 years. But I never thought in a million years that's what would happen. All I did was share my story authentically and what was happening, the product experience along the way. And it was still fun. Never thought I'd go back to corporate after that, because of course I was at the top of the company, 3rd largest team in the company. And then Oliver Dibley left the company that I was at, and he was kind of pecking in the back of my ear all the time, like, hey, how's it going over there? You know, how are things? And I'm like, they're fine, they're great. I knew he was trying to recruit me, and I'm like, no. But one day, I went into the Xyngular headquarters to see his new office. I'm like, oh, I'll stop in and say hi. I was bebopping around. Anyway, and he had me try a dragon fruit trim sticks. And I was like, that is so much better than what I sell. What in the world? I'm so mad. I was so mad for like 2 months. I kept thinking about dragon fruit. And I know, who was it we were all talking about? Most people don't even like dragon fruit. It's my favorite flavor. So I'm like, I just kept thinking about it. And then he kept telling me, he's like, we're gonna do something really special here. Like, you should consider coming. And I'm like, I'm not gonna walk away from 110,000 team members. And then we had some changes in our company that were really interesting, right? We bought a company that was going under. That was not good for us. 55 countries. We didn't have the money to support the country growth, so we closed all the countries. Then we got acquired by somebody who didn't know network marketing, and all of a sudden I went, there's red flags everywhere. I have to do something different. And so I decided to call Oliver back and say, okay, I'm coming. And he's like, okay, you can start Monday. And that's sort of the journey of how I come in. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
So good. We just have to celebrate everybody who walks through the door.
Oh, that's awesome. So good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
And just grab that. She's not sitting
Yeah,
down.
I'm just
grab that.
I'll just hold my iPad. It's all good.
She's not sitting down right now.
No. I just have some notes. I'll get off of them anyway. So that's the journey of how I got here, but the reality is I am super passionate. That's what you have to know about me, is I'm super passionate about the field. The best part for me is all of you, because if you weren't here, we didn't exist, right? We are only the summation of what all of you do in the business, and we're just here to help and support you guys. So my favorite thing about my job is getting to just sit behind the boardroom table, around a boardroom table with people who say, oh, we should do this, and I'm like, oh, that's a terrible idea, or that is a really good idea, right? Just because you know exactly how that's gonna go in the field, like, we can't do that, or yes, you can do that. So I love being able to create programs and systems and tools and things that will help the field. So it's really my passion, and I love getting out and getting a chance to visit with people. I think I've been on the road nearly just about every week or every other week in the last 6 months. It's been a little wild. So the rest of the year I'm headed to Orlando, the Netherlands, and then back to Texas for one last show, and then I think I'm done until Christmas, so I'm kind of excited to just have a little downtime, but it is fun to get out and visit with all of you. How many years have you all been, just shout out the number of years you've been with Xyngular. 7? 13, 15,
4.5.
4.5? Who's new? Anybody in the last year? So everybody's been around a while. So I just want to say congratulations, because in a lot of companies you don't see this. You don't see the people that stick this long. Most of the time they kind of company hop, they'll use this product, but it's really cool when you see a solid foundation of people who love the product, love the company. You can't not love Rudy, right? I love Rudy. Oh my gosh, Barry and Steve and Bruce, they're also fantastic. Mark, all of them. And then of course the rest of our corporate team is amazing too. So anyway, with all that said, I thought I would talk a little bit about the Passport Fast Tracks. So, and give you some tips and some things that maybe will help you as you kind of look at your first trip that you can earn. How many of you is your target Sundance, or I should say the headquarters trip, we'll call it that. Headquarters, okay. Who has something higher than the headquarters trip right now? Okay, what are yours?
Director's Invitational.
Okay, Director's Invitational.
Dubai.
Dubai. We just picked the hotel for that yesterday. Good Lord.
Good to know, because I'm going to be there.
I'm hyperventilating. It's so beautiful. I'm not kidding. I was like, what is that hotel? And Jess is like, this is the new Dubai hotel. And I'm like, oh.
Jess has got great taste.
Oh, she's so good. I worked with her at Young Living. She's amazing. Yeah. Okay, what else? What's yours?
Director's Invitational.
Okay, who else? Anybody else?
The 50K, whatever.
Oh, nice. The 50K. Oh, you'll be excited about that one too.
Okay.
Just lock that one down. Okay, Melissa? Bora Bora. Oh, yeah, that's a lovely one too. Gosh, all these trips. Okay, who's excited about Passport, you guys? So
Yes.
why I love it is because it's literally the differentiator for us, right? Every company has a comp plan. Every company has great products. I think network marketing products in general are the best, right? They're the most scrutinized. We're really careful about the ingredients. We do the most research. So I love supporting all kinds of companies using products. Our products are amazing, but what really makes us stand out is our Passport program, because nobody does 11 trips for anybody, right? Plus you get to work for a Destination X trip every year. Convention, of course, and leadership like everybody has, but I love the Passport program. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about maybe some things that will help you as you push towards working towards Fast Track this year. Regardless of what you are working on, I think this will be applicable for anybody. And a lot of these are not going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so earth-shattering. You've heard this before, because Janice told you before, and Stacey's told you before, Celia, Debbie, everybody, Nicole, Melissa, everybody's told you this stuff before. But maybe today, you know, the old saying that's true is when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so maybe today's the day that you will take one thing away that you've heard from these ladies 100 times, then you go, that's the one thing I needed to hear today. So we'll just talk about a few things and go through it. So here are 14 tips that I'll just put this back and just throw these while I'm talking, that might help you. So the very first one, I think, in looking at your Passport program is managing your mindset. Sounds like the silliest thing, but is the most important thing you do every day. So how many of you have ever been through what I would call the emotional roller coaster of network marketing? You're high, you're low, you're high, right? Well, you cannot go from mountaintop to mountaintop without going through the valley. And this part is where you get actually really good at your job. You never ever get good up here because you're just riding the wave. Sure. And so you kind of have to get your mind around, okay, this sucks right now, and good, because I'm gonna make some changes to get better, to get set up for the next phase of growth. But if you don't get your head wrapped around that, those valleys can take you straight out. Anybody been there? Like, I've been where it's taken me out for a whole year. I was at a spot in my Mary Kay business many years ago where I was driving a pink Cadillac, and I watched them come tow it out of my driveway. They literally towed it right back, and I had no car for my family, right? Because my business went backwards. And I was like, I could sit here and sob and cry and feel sorry for myself, or I could get the guts to leave the ruts a little bit and just get back to work. And that's what I did. I got back to work, went back and earned the lowest car, then the medium car, then another pink Cadillac, right? But you could quit in those moments. So managing your mindset is probably the most important thing you do. I would, if I were you, become a podcast junkie. If you are not listening to podcasts and filling your brain every day, it's my favorite thing to do. So I listen to 2 podcasts a day, 365 days a year. I don't miss them even on a holiday, because it's the thing that feeds my mind. Unlike you guys have amazing uplines here. Like, these leaders in this room are truly the people that are helping us shape the strategy and the direction for the company, which is amazing. I did not have that. So I had to go around and find people that I could get wisdom from so that I could shape my career. I still want to encourage you to do that, because it's where you all get ideas, and then you can sit around the table and share things. So who's a podcast person in here? Okay, what are your favorite? What's your favorite podcast? Anybody got one? Ed Milet. Oh yeah.
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins. Okay, anybody else?
I haven't listened to Caitlin Rhodes, who does a lot of social media content creation.
Love it. Those are my faves. Okay, I like Gary Vee, but he's a little crazy. A lot of F words, if you can handle his F words in the middle, but he's got good content, right? I mean, but I listen to health and wellness podcasts, I listen to my pastor, I listen to social media podcasts, I listen to industry. Do you guys know, what is his name? Fraser Brooks. Do you guys know Fraser? So he's the network marketing ninja. He's so great. His parents built a multi-million dollar business, and he learned from his parents' duplication. And so he just rattles off scripts like this, and you're like, oh, why do we make this so hard? This is so much easier. We make it so hard. So I would just encourage you, managing your mindset starts with things that you put into your brain, because if you put garbage in, you get garbage out, right? The other thing is affirmations. So I think affirmations are funny, personal opinion. Has anybody ever said an affirmation in the present tense like, I am the best recruiter in my state? And what does your brain do? Starts telling you you're not, right? You're just like, I don't know what you're kidding. You haven't recruited anybody in 3 months. What are you talking about? There's no way you're the best recruiter in this state. You're just lying to yourself. That's what happens right over here, right? But what if you did something different? A long time ago, I listened to a cassette tape. This is how old I am. Cassette tape, motivational tape. In fact, my daughter found one the other day, and she asked me if it was a form of Scotch tape. I was like, Scotch tape? I'm so old. Like, I'm dying. It was just, she's 17. She's never seen anything like that. Anyway, I was listening to this tape, and the guy said, affirmations are one thing, but what if you could do an affirmation where you start asking yourself a question? So you said, why am I the best recruiter in my state? What do you think your brain will do? Starts to answer the question. Well, because you've been in the business for so long, and because you love the product, and because your customers love you, and because your team members love you, and all of a sudden your body starts to operate different. So I would encourage you to do affirmations instead of affirmations. Ask yourself the question instead of stating it, because you'll start to answer positively, and it'll put your whole body in a different aura. The next thing I would consider doing in managing your mindset is having a vision board. Does anybody have a vision board, a goal poster, or something? Okay, yeah. How many of you have never done one before? Be real, okay. Bless you, okay, I love it. But what if you did? So I'm gonna challenge you to do something that is outside of my personality style. I am so type A, and I love to be organized, and I'm a perfectionist. You guys can probably tell by graphics and recognition graphics, I love to do stuff like that. But I told myself when I started my last business in the field that I wasn't gonna care about how pretty it looked. I just needed to get the words on the paper. So I opened up my little planner that I had. It was a little teeny 5x7. And I took a piece of paper and I just wrote ugly script and put sticky notes in there and cut out some pictures and put it on there. Do you know that probably 90%, even my income goals, almost 90% of that came true in 3 years? I put such, bless you, I did such big things in there that I was like, there's no way I'm gonna earn $100,000 a month in 3 years. But I did. It's because I looked at it every day. So 80% of what you look at comes to fruition, right? So think about that. So I would say your vision board or goal poster, managing your mindset through podcasts, doing some affirmations, and then finding yourself a power partner, not a pity partner. So we're really,
say it louder.
yeah, we're really good at pity partners, but we're not very good at power partners. And power partners are the people that will say, sister, that is crap. What you're saying to yourself is crap. You need to literally get off that couch and go make a phone call. Those are courageous conversations that most people are not willing to have, because what's more fun? Getting in the mud with somebody, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, that really sucks. Yeah, my business is down too. Listen, I've been there. I have been the worst pity partner for people, and also the best power partner. So just find a power partner right now, because my guess is your business needs it right now. How can I say this? We're about to do something really big. I can't tell you what it is. I'm looking at Jana because she knows. She might be, oh, Melissa knows too. Yeah, there's a couple people in here that know. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just gonna tease you, and then I'm gonna come back to it at the end of the night. On September 4th, you need to be on the brand partner call. Okay, there will be a brand partner call. It's a special call, and it is where we are going to officially launch X 2.0. And it's gonna change everything. So I want you to be in the right headspace. I want you to be in the right aura, energy. Get yourself excited, because we're gonna do something so big and radical, it almost gives me goosebumps even though I'm sweating. I know, no, it's fine. It's just a hot flash, it's good. You know,
I get it.
yeah, I know, I feel like I'm talking to my people, it's fine. If you haven't had a hot flash, you should go home, that's not it. Okay, any questions on managing mindset?
Love it.
Any additional thoughts, you guys, for those of you who are leading teams? Okay, so again, most important thing, if you're working on any goal, it doesn't matter. Passport, fast track, up rank, getting back a rank, doesn't matter. Your mindset's everything. If you think you can't, this is the old adage, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right, and it's so true. We think ourselves right into stuck. And so if I could talk about managing your mindset for 100 years because it's the thing that's kept me stuck sometimes, and it's the thing that's helped me succeed. So, and again, the power partners are everything. I've also had to reach around and find some people that were so out of my league. In other words, like I was a baby leader and I would go up to these multi-million-dollar leaders and go, just like love on me, mentor me, something, give me anything, tell me what to do. And I would just follow what they say because it's what got me out of the places that I was. So you've got those people in this room already, which is amazing. So definitely, hitch your wagon to a star a little bit and just ask and stand in that a little bit more, right? And you'll be surprised at how fast you can move up. Okay, next thing is to make a decision. People misjudge the power of making a decision. There's something that happens in your body when you make a decision. It's like a chemical reaction when you draw a line in the sand and you say, forever, I am here. I am no longer here. I burned the bridge, right? A lot of us get scared to make a decision, so we just stay back here and we go, gosh, I wish. So I'm gonna give you a personal example of something that happened to me. So after I had my ovarian cyst, lost 70 pounds coming out of the hospital, was literally a size 00, right? Never had been that small for so long. Then I gained 40 pounds back because you know what happened? I couldn't stop losing weight. Wouldn't that be a bad problem to have, right? Couldn't stop losing weight, and so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna eat French fries and ice cream and all the things that I'd stopped eating because I was trying to lose weight thinking that's what it was. So then I put on 40 pounds, then I hit menopause. Good Lord, your body doesn't know what's happening when you hit menopause. Anybody been there?
Oh,
It is a thing.
Yep.
And men, by the way, get andropause too, by the way. The men don't get out of it either. So I went to the doctor, had my blood drawn, and she said, you are not gonna live more than 10 years at this rate. You have high blood pressure, high triglycerides, high cholesterol, high A1C. She said, you have so much visceral fat, it's like at a 12, it should be at a 3. So she's like, your blood pressure is so high because all this fat in your belly is pushing on your heart and your organs. Everything is so compressed. Like she said, I give you 10 years. So here's my question to you. She said, I want to put you on a GLP-1. And then the reason why I want to do it, and I was scared, by the way, because I was scared about the shots because, of course, I'm a hypochondriac. I've already been through all this stuff. I don't want cancer. I don't want all the things. As she said, I want to put you on it not because I want you to lose weight, but because I want it to fix all the other things that are going on in your body. So I reluctantly agreed, but she said the only way that I'll give you this prescription today is if you make the decision to break up with food for the rest of your life. And she said, you cannot walk out of this office if you're going to go back to eating the way that you used to eat. And I'm like, oh, boy, it really took me a long time. I bet I was in that office for an hour before I would leave the room because I didn't know if I could actually do it. But I never went back to eating the way that I used to eat. I went to high protein, low carb, low sugar, no alcohol, almost no alcohol ever, really. And I tried the medication, and I lost 43 pounds. And it's been the thing about it for me, and I'm not here talking about the shot. I'm literally just telling you the power in making a decision. So everything in my blood work is now back to 100% perfect for the first time in 20 years. But all that was making a decision because could I have taken the shot? Sure. Would I have lost weight? Sure. Would I have gained it back? Yep, sure would have because I wanted to change the behavior. And it was all about the behavior and the power of making a decision. So what decision do you need to make in your own business right now? Like what is the thing that's keeping you so stuck but you know better? Like there's a line and you know you're back here and it's going to be a little uncomfortable and a little queasy to step over the line, but what is the thing? Because we all have it. I bet you, anybody want to shout one out that's been keeping them stuck? Anna? Pride?
I said this on a live not too long ago.
Yeah.
There's two things hurting every person's business. And if you fix these, you fix everything.
Yeah.
Your pride and moving into actual action.
Yeah. Amen.
End of discussion. Everything else is fixed if you'll fix those two.
That's good. I love it. I love it. Okay. Anybody else brave enough? No? Okay. Well, I'll just keep giving you all my crazy, dirty stories.
I will say I was stagnant, but I found it within myself because insanity is doing the same thing over and over,
Yeah.
expecting different outcomes. So I had to find it within myself. Because corporate has given us everything we've been grasping. You guys have delivered. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Y'all have heard us that have been here. Y'all already know we've been through everything. Y'all have given us everything so beautifully. Thank you.
No.
I
had to draw a line, and I drew that line. And I'm getting action from it because I realized that guess what? We can't just go and put, sorry, like I don't mean to steal your thunder,
Yeah,
but
no.
this is how, like I had to change it. I was like, I can't go put slapping before becoming up because guess what? People can go lose weight doing other things, and that is great. We're all like able to do
Yep.
what we want with our bodies.
Yeah.
But what do we have that is so much value? You can't just say, oh my gosh, great collagen. No, 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 no. Why is it great? How does it help with hormones? How does it help with your target audience? Was this something I had to figure out? I had to figure out who is my target audience.
Yep.
They are empty nesters, perimenopausal women who need energy, who want to feel better, who don't want to go up a size in their jeans, who, like, I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Thank God ChatGPT
Yep.
helped with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Powerful
started
tool.
speaking to that. And since I have gotten about to be 3 enrollments in the past week because I had to do it
Amazing.
personally.
Amazing.
Y'all have done it. It's up to us, and we just have to figure out what that is and what's important, right?
Yeah.
So I will say that I
That's awesome.
personally had to make a shift.
Yeah, and that shift is not finding your niche audience. That is not an easy thing. Do you guys know how the easiest way to find a niche? Does anybody want to know? So if you think about where your age is, your audience is 10 years younger and 10 years older. So that's your window. Okay, then the easiest thing you could do is to make a list of all the problems in that age range, right? So if you look at mine, I'm 52, so 42 to 62. So now what problems do those people have? Name them.
High blood pressure.
High blood pressure, what else?
Low energy.
Low energy, what else?
Sandwich between aging parents and college kids.
Aging parents and college kids, right? What about perimenopause, menopause, all the night sweats, all the crazy mood swings?
Stress.
Also, I'll say divorce is another thing that happens a lot because of crazy menopause and all the things in life. What else? Anything else you can think of? We kind of
Inflammation, your joints hurt so bad.
yeah,
You can't.
exactly.
That's why you
Joints,
get up and move.
inflammation,
You don't
absolutely.
lose weight like you used to.
It
Yes.
does.
Yeah, your body changes.
Yeah.
Hormones.
Brain fog.
Brain fog.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
You're
I
getting close enough to retirement to realize that you can't.
yeah, I was gonna say to realize you don't have any money in there, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you make a list of all the problems in your age group, right, then you look at all those and go, what am I passionate about? Where does my story align in here so I can authentically show up and speak to that person? That's the easiest way to do it because everybody goes, what should my niche be? Should it be hormones? And I'm like, well, just because my niche was hormones doesn't mean your niche is hormones. Your niche is whatever you are and who you are and your authenticity because the most power you have on social media is showing up in your story. The product you sell almost doesn't even matter. I love our product, don't get me wrong, but it's the story you tell, which is exactly what Stacey's saying. It's the benefits, the story, the journey you take them on. I see Celia show up all the time on social media, does such a great job, right? Many of you I've seen on social media. But anyway, sidetrack, but you know, all the good things. But that was a good ad, Stacey. Thank you so much for that. Okay, how are you guys feeling? Are you following along? Feeling good? Feeling like you can draw a line in the sand? A little bit? Okay. I think it's time, right? Because we've got some big things that we're about to cook up at Xyngular, which is fun.
And
which
they
I'll
are.
talk about at the end. I mean, I'll tease you a little bit at the end for sure. Okay, next one, let's talk about knowing your target. So I think everyone knows their targets. I probably don't need to say too much about it. You all got an email that tells you what your next passport fast track is. To me, that's a really good thing to shoot for because it's something fun, right? You can build a dream on social media really easy around this potential trip, and you can start selling all the other trips, which is going to attract other people. You could also, if you want to use a rank, you could use a rank. You could use an income goal if that's what's going to motivate you. So find a target that motivates you, and then what I would say is pick your favorite pack that you like to sell. Some of you like to sell something that's like complete wellness. Others of you want to sell gut flow. Either of them are okay. So I don't want anybody to come in and say, you have to sell this pack because, sure, a high PV pack is gonna be much easier to help people move up, right? You get PV faster, volume faster, all of those things, but the reality is the authenticity on social media, it has to be what you love. So pick a pack and then work backwards from the goal. What I mean by that is if your goal is 5,000 in volume for a trip, then divide that by the PV of your pack, and that will tell you how many people you need to enroll. Super simple, easy way to sort of figure it out. But that's how I've always worked. I'm like, okay, what's my volume goal and how many people do I need to enroll? That's all I need to know. Then I gotta go to work, show up, step across the line, be authentic, right? And figure it out, kind of like what Stacey's saying. So anyway, so know your target. The next thing I would say is to make an appointment with your upline, either your closest enroller or your upline ambassador, somebody in there, executive, whoever, and have what I would call a dream call. And it sounds crazy. So this is one of the things that I used to do in my onboarding all the time with my brand new personal enrollments, but I would even do it at the spot you're at in your business. Have a dream call. Call them up. So if you're gonna do a dream call with somebody, you're simply just gonna have a conversation. Tell me about where your business is. Tell me what you're excited about. If you could achieve anything in your business right now, what would it look like to you? How would that feel? Right? Well, I really want to go to Sundance. I really want to go to this trip. Okay, great. What does that look like? Well, I mean, can you make it work in your schedule? Yes, I can make it work in my schedule. Okay, great. How's it going to make you feel when you show up at Sundance for the very first time? Do not let them get out of that moment where they're talking about how it makes them feel, because that's the piece that helps you step over the line, right? So you get them to dream a little bit, and then you got to plan it out. Pick your pack, work backwards. How many enrollments do you need, right? And then that's all you're doing is helping them set a goal, but guess what? Then you know the goal, they know the goal, and you can hold them somewhat accountable, or you can be cheering them on. So I would do all kinds of crazy things. If people wanted to show up on the convention stage, you guys are gonna think I'm so cheesy. I would literally go get a pretty Barbie doll at Target and I would send it in the mail to them. And I would just say, look, I'm just envisioning you on the stage wearing a dress, something like this. You're gonna show up as Barbie this year. I mean, just crazy, cheesy stuff to let them know that I'm always thinking about them and their goals. But that is how I would get people to move up all the time. They were in my camp. Like, they knew that I cared because I was doing a dream call. I knew I was accountable, sending them little things, postcards, random. Who gets a postcard anymore? I love sending postcards because nobody gets them. Nobody gets mail anymore, do they? Junk mail, most of the time. Bills and junk mail, I know, it's so horrible. Gosh, okay, so anyway, dream calls are powerful. Put them in your onboarding and definitely do them with your hot leaders that are moving up. Okay, next up, let's see, I keep losing my notes because my iPad wants to go a little bit crazy. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the next one is just understanding the power between customers and brand partners, or the power of a customer versus a power of a brand partner. Listen, I think every enrollment is important, whether it's a customer or a brand partner. If you want to enroll just customers, more power to you. You can do that, you can be successful here, you can rank advanced here, you can earn trips here, you can do all the things by just selling to customers. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I will tell you this, you will always be the one doing the work, right? You have to get up every day and you're the one managing that volume all the time. But if you find brand partners that help you and duplicate, then you're not doing all the work by yourself. So that's the power of building a big team. So I always had a dream to build a team. Like, it's boring to work by yourself. I love to have leaders around and plan and strategize and think what we could do for the other people on the team, which is obvious, like what you guys are doing here. So it's good. But I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with either. And in this day and age, we're gonna find people who want to just build customers, and that's okay. I feel like Christina is a really good example, right? Huge customer builder, and she's I mean, I buy so much stuff from her, good Lord. I told her to stop selling.
Yeah.
Please stop selling online so I will save my paycheck. But so you've got people like that, and you also have people who are just awesome at team building. Pick your path. It doesn't matter. You can do both, you can do one or the other, but just know, in this day and age, in network marketing, both are absolutely okay. But again, your team's gonna grow faster and your income's probably gonna grow faster by having some brand partners on it. And they'll definitely help you do the work, which is great. Okay, next up, get into action, because consistency wins. So I always used to like to tell people this: you will never, ever, ever see the word momentum before you see the word action, not even in the dictionary. Action always comes before momentum. And boy, I'll tell you what, most of us just say, we want to be in momentum, but we don't really feel like doing the action. And I can tell you, in times that I've been stuck, or times in the valley where we talked about that spot, how many of you really want to get that cart going right back up the hill? Sucks, doesn't it? It's so much work, it's energy, you gotta be positive when you don't feel like it, like that whole thing. But consistency is what really matters. So they oftentimes say that habit stacking, so the consistency of habit stacking helps you be 90% more successful than just doing something every once in a while. So if you're thinking about that, if you're stacking all the good habits consistently, you're probably gonna hit your goal 90% faster. So again, it just builds clarity, it builds momentum, it builds excitement, and it builds example for everybody around you. And it's like, man, Celia's moving. I don't know what she's doing, but every day she's showing up on social media. It gets me fired up when you watch people like that, right? What happens when you, I use social media as the example, but we could also talk about this person to person, because if you are building that way, it's the same. Think about a business downtown, whatever, brick and mortar business, and one day they have an open sign, but then they're not open for like 3 more days. And then they're open, and then a week they're not open. How many times do you go back to that
We
store
actually
again?
have one of those in town, and I've used it as
You
an
do not.
actual example. Guess who does not shop there? Because if you're supposed to open at 10 o'clock,
I'm the same,
and
yes.
you want to sell your goods, and I get there at 10:10, and you're not even open, I won't drive to town anymore because it's a long way. I mean, no.
Yeah.
But it kills your business.
Drives
because
crazy.
you're no longer reliable.
Exactly.
If you don't care about your business, why should I?
Yep,
And
amen.
it is a real thing. I will not shop with you because you have nothing to offer me.
She just took me
Because
to
you're not
church.
available.
Right
Sorry.
there.
I mean,
I love it.
seriously.
Yes.
I gave this analogy. I said, Debbie was in town.
Yeah.
And I said, like, hey, we're going to go here. I don't pay there a lot. This is why.
Isn't
You know?
it, doesn't it drive you crazy? And so think about
It's
social
like,
media that way.
You're telling me your business does not matter
Yep.
and I cannot count on your doors being open.
Yeah. So I was I think it was at Lori Ulrich's house with her group there. We were talking about that. And she had a similar story with a business in town that was that way. And it literally just folded because eventually nobody could depend on the business. And I said, okay, now think of, and I know, depending on where your skill set is with social media, not everybody loves it. Some people like to do person to person. All of that's great. But if you are a business in this day and age, you kind of have to have a social account because even the hardware store has a social media account at this point, right? And then you have to show up every day and you're like, well, I don't have my eyelashes on. I don't have my hair curled. I'm in my pajamas. You know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just show up because the best engagement I used to get was no eyelashes, no makeup, no hair done, hair in a ponytail at the gym. That's the best engagement I would ever get on my social media page. So think about that. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be somebody you're not. You have to be just who you are because that's what your audience is looking for, but just show up consistently. So consistency wins all the time, and you can always go back in your business and look. It's either there's some line that you're standing behind and not over, or you're not doing the work consistently. I almost could bet it almost every single time. It just is the way, and a lot of that will go back to mindset. So it kind of all just sort of works together for sure. Okay. Next little tip, and this is like a no-brainer, right? But to build a power list. So I was talking to a couple leaders this last week, and they're like, what's a power list? I'm like, okay, let's go back to, it's a Frank's list, it's a Fran's list, I don't care, it's your chicken list, call it whatever kind of list you want, piece of paper, in your phone, doesn't matter. But the most powerful thing you can do is start writing down names of people that you really either want to be part of your team or on your customer base. And when I write those up, you guys, I still do it today. I was literally making a list for no reason because I'm like, oh man, they'd be good in the business. They'd be good in the business. I'm not even building a business right now. But it's so ingrained in me because I've done it my whole life. It's just, that's the way it is. You see potential in people, right? But when you make a list of people, the most powerful thing you do is write down the reason why you're going to talk to them, the reason or the product. Is it business or what product do I think is going to solve a solution in their life? Otherwise, you're just looking at them as property, right? And they don't stick. They don't stay because it's not authentic. So put a reason down, and then when you have a conversation, what happens? You don't need a script anymore. Because now, right, when I call Debbie, and Debbie, I knew Debbie was maybe she was starting perimenopause, and I knew she was just telling me the other day she was having some night sweats. And I call her and say, Debbie, gosh, I've been thinking about you like crazy. When you were talking about perimenopause, I've been dealing with some of the same things, but it dawned on me, I haven't had any of the same symptoms that you've had, and I think it might be this product I'm taking. Are you curious about it? Because I'd love to share it with you. I just rattle it off, right? You just be authentic. Just say, gosh, I was just thinking about you because it's real. So if you can put the reason down, and if it's about the business, you're going to do the same thing, right? It's like, Jana, my gosh, I was thinking about you the other day. You are the most organized, professional, most confident woman I know. I'm actually being very real, right? Confident woman I know, and if I could have anybody on my team, it would be you. And I think you'd be crazy not to check this out, but I've got something I think you deserve to see. Could I just have 30 minutes of your time? Right? She's gonna go, yeah. I mean, I'm probably not gonna do it, but yeah.
But she feels really good.
Yeah.
Feels seen. And
Exactly.
that may be the only person that spoke life into her today.
Yeah.
You cannot lose doing what she said, and not doing that is hurting all of us.
Yeah.
And there's somebody out there that would be amazing, and we're not willing to tell them that because of our pride.
Yep.
So I love what you said, and thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome, and I do mean that. And here's the thing, compliments always win, right?
It's so
But
true.
authentic
It's just
compliments.
true.
So I'm gonna tell you about when I got approached to sell Mary Kay. I was 18 years old. But I had grown up my whole life not believing I was enough. Not because of my parents, not really, I don't know why, you guys. I just had low self-confidence, low self-esteem, couldn't say my name in front of a room, just didn't feel great about myself. I was always the last person picked to play kickball, soccer, baseball. Like, I was never the most athletic, I was just kind of athletic. And so when she called me, she was my cheerleading coach from high school, and she said, if you know anything about Mary Kay, the way that they always used to enroll was, hey, I have to do 12 interviews this week as part of my job. Could I interview as a practice? And so she called me and she said, girl, you were just so fun to have in cheerleading, and I'm building this new business, and I have to do 12 interviews this week. I'm like, good Lord, okay, this is a good statement. And she said, could I just practice on you and interview? You're the kind of person I'd really want on my team. I'm already filled with joy. I'm like, no one has given me a compliment in so many, I don't even know.
Exactly.
I don't even know. And I signed on the spot, and I went to the bank, and I got a $3,600 loan for a girl who didn't even have $100 in her checking account because she made me feel good. So all I'm saying is be authentic in your scripts, and don't worry so much about, are the words exact? Take your power list, figure out who's on that list, and figure out the authenticity that you can use in having those conversations. I think it will be more powerful, and it will free you up to not have to be, did I say the right word? Did I use the script exactly? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they love you already. You know, they already know who you are. So anyway, I don't know if that helps
You're
anybody.
gonna get a round of applause for that one.
Oh.
That is solid. Like,
Thank you.
that's the moment I'm into is going and finding women for that very reason.
Uh-huh.
You have nothing to lose except for you may have made their day. You may have made their week. You may have made their month. When
Yeah.
you start, I think this is uber important.
Yeah.
Uber important.
Yeah.
People just
Uber
really
important.
want to be
But-
seen
Yes.
more than anything.
Uber important.
Amen.
One example you used, though, Sarah, is you said, I was talking to you and you said that about menopause. What if we haven't talked to them in days, years, months?
Then I would try to build a connection first, personal opinion, versus just a cold call where you go, hey, Susie, I haven't seen you in 20 years, but I'm building a business over here and I really want to sell some product to you. She's going to be like, you can go home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so I would just connect with Susie, and it's a longer pull in the tent, right? It's just like you're probably going to take 4 weeks to get back into connection with them, get a chance to, how are your kids? My gosh, tell me what you're doing these days. It's just so fun to connect with you on Facebook. So it's work. It's just work. But I never ever would approach somebody without some kind of a warm something. That's me personally. What has worked for you? Because I might be doing it wrong.
Well, I don't even depend on if it's a man or a woman in a way, but I do think when you're posting on social media regularly, you can refer back to a post.
Yeah,
And
for
you
sure.
can say, I have a guy I just reached out to yesterday. All he said back to me so far is sure. But one thing that I do think is when people either ghost you or don't respond the way you think they should, keep going.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Very
don't,
true.
like keep going.
Yeah.
So my next plan is to say, okay, great, what's your cell phone number? And I'm gonna call him, and I'm gonna just reconnect. Hey, Cliff, I've been following you on Facebook. Your kids look like they're having so much fun. They're about the same age
Yeah.
as mine, and then I'll go into it.
Yeah, but you are still kind of connecting. Like I wouldn't just cold
Right.
drop it, you know what I mean? But I do that too, like on social media where I've gotten some enrollments, is just like I follow somebody in a group, then I, will connect and be like, oh gosh, I have a question about that. That's good. It's like authentic back and forth a little bit, and then you have the permission, I think, to go around and have the question or have the,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I recently, I think sometimes there's some things you can say, but that's why you also don't want to do a lot of share
Yeah,
on your
agreed.
Facebook. You want to actually have actual posts. And I was looking to see, I kind of had a little bit, another top leader shared this with me on a script the other day, because I was like, okay, what are you saying when you're reaching out? Because Jan and I were actually just talking about this the other day, about people don't know exactly what people are doing. So I can find it. But she basically was saying, and you have to, I don't, my Wi-Fi's going to pull it up. But she basically was just saying, I don't know if you've noticed, I've been posting, and then it goes into a conversation.
yeah,
So
yeah, you
don't
can do
just
that.
share.
Yes, amen. Let's come back to that because that is a powerful piece for sure. Okay, a couple other quick things on your power list just to add. Don't forget about the current people you have on your team. So sometimes we enroll a customer, we enroll a brand partner, and we forget about them, but it's just as powerful, if not more, to breathe belief into them as it is a prospect. So I look at customers as brand partner prospects all the time, right? So I've got a list running at all times of people that are my best customers that I know they've got friends and family. If I could just get them to share that idea with their friends and family, right? They're my sort of a hot customer. So I would simply call them too. I'd be like, hey girl, I know you've been loving your product for so long. A, would you do me a favor? I'll give you a free product of your choice. If you'll go out onto Facebook, take the product and post about it and tag me in it. So then I can see all her friends start to answer right in here. Oh, Susie, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so glad you're having a great product. I'm like, oh, this is so good. All the prospects are right there. Then I can go back to her and say, look, you've got so many friends who are interested. Have you ever thought about being a brand partner here? Let me talk to you about what that's like. Right? So it's just, I'm trying to do that with my actual customers too, to bring more brand partners in. So think about that, and then also think about your brand partners. Okay, they can't be anything more than a brand partner, but they can be a leader here. So, if you're talking to it's like Stacy, if you had Stacy as a brand new baby leader in your organization, would you not be jumping for joy? you'd be like, dang, this girl is sharp. She knows her stuff. She's well positioned. She can talk well. Like, I want her as a leader on my team. So what I'm going to call her. I'm going to say, Stacy, I know you're new. You're working a full-time job. You're a busy mama with 19,000 kids, and you drive a school bus, and you do all the things, right? I know. But I am looking for women like you. And here's why. And you breathe belief in her, and you know what? She's going to go to bed thinking about something totally different because you planted a seed that's not going to go away. So it's, to me, this is how I grew a team. Truly. I did it with customers, I did it with potentials, I did it with brand partners, I still do it with leaders. Hey, when Amanda Cooper, you guys all know her, she was my #1 leader on my team. So what do I do with you can ask her. What I did is literally, I would call her and be like, Amanda, in fact, I still tell her today, and I would say this to each of you too, I would say something authentic to you, but I still tell her, I think you have the ability to be the #1 network marketer of all time. I do think you have that ability. And she always laughs at me. And I'm like, you know what? Who's breathing that belief into her otherwise? No one else is, right? So what are you breathing into your people, your brand partners? Who's going to be the next leader on your team? Who's going to outrank you? I always want people to outrank me. Please, run, let's go.
That really is one of my #1 goals.
Yes.
And I know people think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I want somebody to outrank me and out-earn me.
Yes, amen.
Because now I have arrived.
Yep.
Because they arrived and they arrived and they arrived. And until that happens, I will
100%.
never be satisfied.
100%.
And I don't care if they're on my 25th level inside joke.
Yep. Or actual.
Which is not true, and I would never say that to somebody, but it's
Yeah.
a funny inside joke. Or if they're on my front line. And
Yes.
or that little evil little weasel over there.
Even little weasel.
Not you, Lois. That
So
one.
really
You
proud of her.
missed
I
that
love
whole
this.
story.
I
We'll
love
get
it.
you up later.
She called me
Oh.
today and I was dying.
No, we'll get you up. But like that does matter, like, and you cannot lose.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of my customers right now that has got her link, I only knew her briefly. She bought right before my grandmother died. My mother died. Literally forgot she existed. She was on action.
Oh.
I picked up, I did the whole,
Nice.
I'm so sorry, give me grace.
Yep.
Most people, it's like you didn't ever message me back. If you can, I can't help it. But I look, she was so kind and all this kind of stuff. And it's the same thing. It's like, you love these products.
Yeah.
You decided that you want to do something because of how your mother is aging.
Yep.
And in your target demographic, you're very concerned about other women.
Yeah.
I've looked at your social media.
Mhm.
Like, you've got a bunch of grandkids, you love them, your little hair's cute as bag in a rug.
Yeah.
And every time we've
say that too.
interacted,
Yeah.
you've been super kind.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the grace you extended to me. You're the kind of woman I want on my team.
Yep. 100%.
What she does with that is actually irrelevant to me.
All I know is she's a better
All I
mom
know
and a better
is
wife that
I
way.
just told her
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
She never has to sell. She never has to do anything. All I can control is what I do and what comes
Yeah.
out of my mouth and
Yeah.
what's in my heart, not hers.
Yeah, have you guys heard John Maxwell speak about
So it
this before?
matters.
Yes.
Yes.
John Maxwell always talks about he always talks about even just a waitress at the table. He's like, my goal is to just make sure that they go home a better mother, a better wife, a better friend,
That's right.
a better everybody that day by the words that I sowed in their minds, And I'm like, it's that, but that is how you develop people. It is less about the steps and more about what you breathe into them.
Absolutely.
Somebody once told me that our job as a leader, I've said this multiple times, I think I've even said it from stage here, but our job as a leader is to paint the picture and help other people see themselves in it. That's it. You'll move up if you can just master that one skill. Paint the picture and help other people see themselves in that picture. And once they can see it, they feel it, they internalize it, and all of a sudden it starts to come to fruition. So anyway, that was cool though. Thank you for adding, Jana. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. A couple of other quick things. When you have your power list, kind of jump back to that for a second. The easiest thing for us to do is to text somebody. But what I want to say is please stop texting. Please at least start voice clipping. So, record a voice message because they can never hear your voice, your fluctuation, your care, your concern, your anything through a text. Anybody ever read a text and think somebody's mad at them?
Absolutely.
100 times, right?
Yeah.
Even I get it from Oliver. They're like one sentence with a period, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Call me as soon as you can. And I'm like, oh, am I in trouble? And he's like, hey, girl, you're not even believe what just happened. And he's got a big old story he's laughing about. I'm like, listen, your text was not good. Just so you know. It sucked. But you got it. So anyway, I just want to encourage you, the more you can voice clip somebody, the better off you are. In every instance, in a customer, even a customer, most customers don't even know about voice clips, right? So it's like, they get it, they go, well, what's this? Well, I don't even get this. I sent one to my mom the other day, who's 72, and she was like, what is this weird message you sent me? It's like, do I have to click on it? What do I do? I say, click on it. And she's like, oh, that was the nicest compliment ever. I'm gonna keep it forever. And I'm like, all right, they matter. So I would just voice clip wherever you can. Prospects everywhere, brand partners, anything.
She's the queen of it.
I love it.
Absolute queen.
It's
Queen.
voice matters for
Y'all
sure.
have carpal tunnel if I do.
Well, it's all efficiency. I'm telling you, that's.
For real, it's efficiency, like why would I not? And it teaches duplication.
Yep.
Like,
Amen.
and how am I gonna expect someone to voice clip if I don't do it?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you text it, and if you're like me and you voice text it, then it says a bad word.
Yeah, if I do that, I'm like,
I've had that happen before.
Yeah, I'm like, that
Like,
thing
wait,
Or you
I'm doing
know,
that.
voice to text and you send it to a bunch of people and then somebody finally told you what your text message, and I said, oh my gosh.
I'm so
I
sorry.
sent that too. True story.
I have so many
Some of
times
these
that's
people know
happened.
all my inside jokes. It's like, oh, that really actually happened.
Those are all the moments we want to remember,
Didn't mean
right?
to, but
Yeah.
thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate
I
it.
love that. So here's just a quick little tip when you are talking to people. We talked about this already, like leading with the solution, but I would say lead with the solution in social media too. So this kind of goes back to what Melissa was saying, and I've seen Nicole, I've seen Jan, like all of you guys are doing a great job on social with that, but I would lead with the solution. So if you think about your target market, and even when you're talking in person, so if you're not doing social media, that's okay. If you're talking to people, always be thinking about the solution that you're gonna help them with. On social, just exactly what Melissa said, if you sell, okay, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna say things out of both sides of my mouth, right? Because I'm thinking about Christina. So let me come back to Christina for a second, because it's different. But if you're building a business as a brand partner, 90% of your posts should be value add, 10% are the ask. So think about that. When you show up on somebody's profile, what do you want to see? What do you follow them for, right? I go follow somebody because they're talking about something that interests me. Okay, so Oliver follows people for shoes, hair products, right? Whatever, basketball or something, right? I don't follow people for that, but I follow people all about menopause, right? Perimenopause, cosmetics, I love that, fashion, whatever. But when I go to their page, if they're constantly trying to sell me something, I'm done. I don't want to be in that. I'm trying to go for value. Like, what is it that they're going to teach me that I don't know? So you could step into a place of authority. If you find a niche, some of you probably don't maybe know what your niche is quite yet, but if you find a niche, then step into a place of authority and just start educating on it. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You only have to be 1 decibel better than them, 1 little millimeter better than them, and then you have an authoritative space. So lead with a solution is all I'm saying, and when you're talking to people in person, same thing, lead with a solution. You're not trying to sell them on anything, you're trying to provide a solution to a problem that they have. So if you approach it that way, it makes it less salesy and doesn't feel so, like, I don't like to sell to people. I don't know you guys.
No.
Anybody?
But people don't want to be sold to, they want to buy what they want to be sold to.
Exactly.
And selling to is like, oh, it's flyer,
Yeah.
hey baby, have I got a deal for you? Which
Hey,
is
baby.
like good credit, bad credit, no credit, I always say. You know, and it's like, I see what you're talking about and I have that problem and I need something and it's whatever. And it may just be inspiration.
Yeah.
It may not be a product. It may be I am bought into your mission
Yeah.
because you are here to uplift people every day.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to come back to see what words you have for me today.
Yeah.
May not be product involved at all.
Yeah. Yep.
And then when we do that, it's like, hey, oh my gosh, I need to see that Stacy gave. That's such a good word. So now I share it with Stacy. No one's even trying to sell Stacy anything.
Right.
We're just trying to lift Stacy up.
Exactly.
So all of that stuff goes a long way.
Yep, I love that. So true. Okay, so a couple last things. Let's see. I wanted to come back to Christina. I'm using her as an example just because I know you're sitting here. But also, you guys have seen really good influencers online. How many of you follow an influencer or 2 or 10 on social media, TikTok, anywhere, right? Yes. Okay, some of you are going, heck no, I don't follow any, right? Okay, I have tons of friends like that, but I also have tons of friends who, like, I'm on TikTok all the time. I follow a ton of people on Instagram, not because it fits in my age demographic or that I knew how to do it, right? At some point, I just got better at using social media, and then I was like, oh, this is good, this is information I love. Okay, so I'm gonna say something that's gonna be uncomfortable for 98% of the people in the room, but there might be 1% of you in here that you go, that might be an idea I should run with. So how many of you know who Jessie Lee Ward is? Does anybody know who Jessie Lee is? Okay, some of you knew. She had the largest organization of all time in network marketing, and she passed away from stage 4 colon cancer a couple of years ago. However, I can tell you know how she grew her business? on live, packaging up samples in cups. That's all she did. And they would just check out and check out. People would say, I'm in line. And you're like, how the heck is she getting all these enrollments? This is insanity. The only reason why I share that story is I was listening to Gary Vee the other day, and he said, listen, he goes, and of course, he's so rash, you guys. He's like, oh, you idiots out here. I told you that TikTok was coming, and none of y'all listened to me. And now TikTok's here, and the ones that listened are multimillionaires. So I'm going to tell you a new secret. And he said, live social selling is coming. He goes, China has a bigger live social selling, like, economy, just the social selling piece, than the entire United States right now. Okay, so live social selling is coming. All that is, I'm gonna make you uncomfortable, is Nicole getting up in the morning. She doesn't care if she's brushed her teeth, her hair, nothing. She's gonna get up with her cup of coffee. She's just gonna start talking about her product. I'm telling you to do exactly opposite of what I just told you with the 90-10. But if you wanna show up and do live social selling, an hour or 2 hours a day, every day, and just start talking about your product, people will check out.
So you mean like go live?
An hour to 2 hours a day.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, what do you talk about?
Random. You might be mixing up your bowl of cereal, talking about who knows what, just stuff, and then you're like, okay, well, this is the product I use in my cereal. I mean, start watching it before you start doing it. Yeah. Go watch the people who go live an hour a day. You'll be shocked. It's not anything. You can find it on TikTok. You can see the TikTok lives, Instagram lives, any of those.
Well, that's my other question. Whenever I go live on TikTok, where does it go? I know I post it and then it's gone.
It doesn't. It should show up in your stuff. It doesn't.
I don't know.
Is there any particular platform that works on TikTok?
TikTok? Okay, so this is a platform I don't know anything about. I'm just repeating what I heard. But I need to go check it out because it kind of fascinates me. Whatnot is the other platform that people are selling on. Me either. But I heard it the other day. Okay, interesting.
Have you heard of Flip?
I've not heard of it.
It's social selling.
Interesting.
If somebody buys from your link, from there you get money and the company gets money.
Weird.
So
I haven't heard of it.
now I got invited to it and I'm trying to figure that one out.
Sounds. I'd ask ChatGPT. That's my boss.
It's interesting, and it's not exactly the same thing, but I know Stacy had done a video several months ago. She, at one point in time, had it pinned at the top of her Facebook, and she was just doing a high-level overview of basically the debt collecting.
Yeah.
And she was just talking, so forth and so on. She wasn't like,
You're not reading a script.
packaging because,
Yeah.
anyway, she wasn't doing all that, but it's like people tune in. And I remember when I first started, and so Kara Cunningham, and I didn't follow her social media like I did whatever, but once in a blue moon, she'd pop in her bedroom, and she'd be sitting there, and she would just be basically doing a presentation of products.
Yeah.
That's some of how I learned what the products did. Whereas
Yeah.
I would just go and listen to her talk about products.
Yeah. That's what it is.
And that's what it is.
It's
It's
all-
like you're
it's
just
all it
talking
is.
about your products.
Yep.
In story, you do it in short form.
Yep.
It's like you're mixing
Exactly.
up your gut glow.
That's correct.
And your whatever.
Yeah.
And you're not putting 4 graphics about your gut.
Yeah. So think about it like this. If you're going to get online and do a live social selling, lead with the solution. Remember that. So tell your story. Lead with the solution. You can say, man, this is the problem that I was having. I assume many of you out there, if you're out there, man, drop it in the comments. If you're one of those people that are experiencing perimenopause, night sweats, whatever, I use that just because that's what I would talk about. Drop it in the comments, right? I just want to know I'm not the only one out there, right? So you're leading with the solution. You say, I found a solution that's really been helping me, and then you start going through the overview of the products. But if you nail the problem first, people are in, right? Then they're like, okay, yes, I relate to that problem. And now I want to hear what she has to say. So you aren't just hardcore selling, but you're leading with the solution. So just keep that in your mind.
Well, you mentioned how many of us have been here for a long time.
Yeah.
When we started, we did a lot of that. Like, we would just go live for 30 minutes.
It's amazing.
Talk about this, that, and the other, and people were commenting. But then as time went on, you start being told, well, it has to be under 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
People won't listen. And we just changed a lot of things. But
It all comes back around. It's crazy. Social changes every day.
Because that when we first started,
It's like no
they
buttons.
didn't have live on that.
So true.
Upload our videos.
I know. I have some in my closet.
What do you feel about
I was doing a video
shop?
on the product
So,
each day.
I mean, I really thought about it, and I've checked it,
And
and
that's
the
how
whole rundown of what I
Nice. Yeah.
So, can you do that with Xyngular, or do do you know?
I don't know that I know that answer, but I want people to be able to.
Yeah.
Because I really do think, I mean, how many people, like, I just check out on TikTok all the time. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Like, I buy everything on TikTok.
Yeah.
I buy what I'm wearing on TikTok. You know what I mean? Just buy everything on TikTok.
That's what you're wondering how those, I guess I'm comfortable.
I mean, we should brainstorm with Eric on ways we can make that compliant. It'd be worth it.
It really would, yeah.
First time to see product presentations you do in your bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
And Lewis was like, hey, she can do that, I can do that.
In her bathroom floor. I think there was a football game on or something, and you're like, oh, my kids were doing this. And she was sitting in front of her tub, and she was the products on her tub. And she
It's
was grabbing
amazing.
all
This is
Oh, I wanna see
actually
this
true.
video.
I remember that.
Well, and I'll say this too, so I don't know, it just made me think about it though, whenever you said, Lois, about, we had said, under this amount of minutes, we just went. So at my team retreat last weekend, it was never so evident that so much of my team, and surely they're not alone, they were stagnated and paralyzed in things that they thought would hurt them. Meaning,
Yeah.
do we use hashtags? Do we not? What about this? What about this? Should I learn TikTok? Should I learn Instagram? Should I? And I feel like because we've had a lot of stuff thrown at us. We're like, no.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And all that I said was, you do what you are comfortable with. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference whether you use hashtags or not if your content is good. If you're addressing the problem and you do it consistently and you know that follow through and you have something to help people, it's irrelevant if you have a hashtag or not.
Yeah.
So that's my advice, under 3 minutes or not. Don't get caught up in that.
Yeah.
Do what feels right to you
It's
and
authenticity.
consistently,
Mhm.
and you will build
Yeah.
that following.
Yeah.
Like that's
Authentic platform
100%.
and the authentic reach out.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Scripts and having to make it just like this
Yeah.
is counterproductive when it is not authentic
Totally.
and you don't sleep well at night.
Yep.
It's
Totally.
counterproductive.
If it doesn't feel right or you feel like a fraud, then it's not the right thing for you to do.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out what is
If it
the right
feels
thing
safe,
for you
yeah.
and do that consistently.
Yeah, and one of the things you'll see in social media now is, so if you follow any experts, you're all hearing the same thing, that it no longer matters how many followers you have. How many of you started with like 200 followers on Facebook or 500 followers, and maybe you have 200 now, huh?
I ran her.
Yeah,
I've got 5,000.
yeah, exactly. So we all started,
100 to my stuff.
we all started somewhere,
No
right?
other social media. 400 friends.
Yeah.
I knew every one of them.
Exactly.
No other social media and
Yep.
rarely ever posted.
So now they'll tell you though that it's not about your followers. So we used to always go, oh my gosh, I have to build a brand, I've got to do this, I've got to build followers so that people will watch my stuff and check out. It's not even true anymore. Now it's about the single piece of content that you post. If your content is good, that's all that matters because one piece of content can go viral. So again, don't get caught up in it, be authentic, just speak from your heart. That's the most important. Tell your story. You'll get so sick of telling your story. I had a friend of mine in my last business who, we had a similar program to Destination X. It was called Path to Paradise. And we would always look at the Path to Paradise scoreboard. Every day it would update, and we would see the top 20 people with points. Drive me that crazy. Oh, I'm like, how did I fall out of the top 3? How? I'm like, I'm gonna call this girl. So this girl, Heather Summers, is like, she's a nurse. She's on Beck's team. So Melissa, you might know her someday. But anyway, she's on Beck's team. She's just a nurse. She's like this shy little girl. She hates talking in public, hates being on stage, shows up every single day doing live social selling. And I called her, I'm like, Heather, what are you doing? She goes, I just show up every day and just talk about my product. That's all. I'm like, I'm over here trying to build like algorithms and strategies and like a plan on ChatGPT, and she's like, oh my God, you're making this way too complicated. Just show up. So it's similar to what Stacey's saying. Just if you're just authentic and show up, I think you can do a lot. I did when it kind of goes back to consistency and authenticity. Right before I came here, about 6 weeks or so before I left my business, I was really frustrated with my Instagram growth, and I'm like, what is the deal? I'm posting really good reels. I think the content's pretty decent. I have a lot of people who comment on them, but I'm just not getting the following. So what is happening? And I asked I asked Brock Johnson, if any of you know Brock and Shalene. Okay, so I asked Brock Johnson, like, what the heck? And he goes, I went and looked at your profile. Your reels are great, whatever. Everything looks good. But he goes, what I'm going to tell you is you're not consistent. So he goes, I want to challenge you. One month. Just give me 1 month of 30 reels, a reel every single day. And you guys, I still to this day hate reels. They're time suck for me because I'm not great at it, right? So some of you you're really good at reels. Like there's some of you that are really good at reels, right? And you can just pump them out, no problem. It takes a lot of work for me to do a good reel. So I was like, okay, in December, I'm gonna do 30 reels. And I did. And you know what happened? On the 28th day of September, my account grew from 2,000 to 7,000 followers literally almost overnight. But he said it will happen at the very end of the 30 days. Do not give up in the process. You will get followers at the end. And he was right. So it was just consistency and showing up every day. And I'm like, dang it, I hate when they're right. And I wanted to be right so bad.
And the platforms that give you more exposure.
They do.
With your content. Like, I even get notices saying, hey, your content is engaging. We're going to actually show you to more people.
Yeah.
Your content's engaging. We're going to show you
Yeah.
to more people.
Totally.
That's happening to me literally right now. I told you.
That's awesome.
So I put a reel out beginning of June, and it was a random thing. It was like your emergency contact thing. I don't know if y'all saw that. It's going around on TikTok. So I did it with my husband Chris. He's literally, he sent me a video. He's standing on the back of a cow working cows, and I'm like in video, and I'm like, this is my emergency contact. Do not contact him. But anyway, it was something funny that I took off TikTok. It is blowing up right now. Like I had
100,000 views.
it was like literally maybe 10,000 views like 3 days ago. It is blowing up, but I'm gaining all these followers because they're all men.
Oh.
Like, that's because you're so cute. But
Nigeria.
point being, put it out there because you never know
You
what's
never
gonna
know.
catch on.
You just don't
I
know.
mean, like my following is going up. And I
Yeah.
do what I want, but it's okay. Keep showing up.
My granddaughter did that about their classes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then her little posting was viral. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
so good.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? She's 15 and she's like, oh, yeah, I thought, you just,
Of course.
Put it out
Of
there.
course
You
she's
don't have
watching.
intentions
Yeah.
on this is going to go viral because I was just doing it to show who we are
Yeah.
as people. That is part of my lifestyle.
Yeah.
We're cows, we're country.
When she said work cows, I was like, I wonder what that actually means.
Come hang out, girl. We'll show you.
Hey, honestly, we have no animals, so there's no animal work to be done here. But like part of it is if you think it would be funny, like if it speaks to you,
Yeah.
if it's humorous to you, if it's uplifting to you, you are your demographic.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You're
are
talking
your
to you.
demographic. You're
Yeah.
talking to yourself.
Uh-huh.
So if you like that kind of, child of the 70s kind of like get underneath your desk, it's the bomb shelter, it's
Yeah.
the tornado shelter, because that's true.
That's
Everything,
It's
if
so
you
true.
get under your desk or put your book over your head and bend down, you're safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are things that
Listen to us all laughing.
are
So true.
almost 18-year-olds don't know, like John Norman CDs.
Yeah.
That's a John Norman CD. Well, that's actually an album.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the Scottish
And now they don't know
Yeah.
what CDs
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
So, but my demographic would love the story about the John Norman CD.
Exactly.
Because they'd be like, yeah, I feel you. I feel
Yeah.
you. Well, you also need college and you
Yes, you- yes, you do.
Because you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, exactly. So
You know,
true.
8 tracks and we can always know.
Yeah, I know all about it.
Oh, me too. Me too. So good. Okay, I'll close up with just a couple of other little things and then give you a little teaser. So, one thing I would say one of the most important things next to managing mindset, except of course being consistent and doing all the activity and all those things, is to master the ability to skill up every day. So this is one big thing that I think holds every leader back. Is the fact that they don't choose to skill up in something. So you identify that you're not great at something, but you don't do anything about it.
And you said
Right?
skill up.
Skill up, yeah.
S-K-I-L-L.
Exactly, skill up every day. So what is it that you know is your weakest strength? Does anybody know, like, I know Reels is a big one for me. I don't love it, but what do you think that I spend time researching and studying? Reels. Because I need to be better at it. So what's one thing for you guys that you feel like,
Lives.
what's that?
Well, the live thing.
The live thing,
Yeah.
okay?
I hate going live.
Okay, so that's a place to skill up.
It's funny, but everybody thinks I suck.
I don't think you
I think you're awesome at it.
My family thinks I suck. Let me tell you that. My in-laws are like, you're sucking at it.
Listen,
I
yeah.
don't think you
yeah, my grandkids,
My
they
house
Oh, yeah, I'm
cleaners,
sure,
I
I'm
got
sure.
pulled out this week because I said my house cleaners didn't move my stuff when they came to clean my counter, and I found my keys after spending $350 on the second bear. They freaking called me out. They called me up and said, "If you had found when this don't go live." I said, "I'm just trying to be authentic."
I should.
Say, if you want to drive over, I'll show you the unfollow button.
Yes, exactly.
And see, I'm better with love than I am reels because I'm not a scripted person.
Yeah.
I know what it's just going to come. And
Yeah.
it's going to be very authentic. It's going to be very transparent.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm working when I do a reel.
Yeah.
I don't when I do a reel.
Yeah, that's how I am
So
too. I can do stories and lives all
Jana
day.
shows up.
really?
a lot.
See, I
She
feel like I
doesn't
bet
show
my
up.
eyes like, no.
Are we also critical of ourselves?
Yes,
Oh my
I
gosh.
know. You look at them like I can't watch it.
Okay, so back to skilling up. I would just say, Really focus on that. It's the hardest thing sometimes that we do is to find a place where we could skill up. It's podcasts, it's books, it's other top leaders, right? But don't expect to be spoon-fed. So the one mistake, like I talk to leaders all the time and they're like, well, I'm just waiting for the company to produce this. I'm waiting for marketing to do this for me. I'm waiting for my upline to do this for me. Well, what if they never do? What if they never do? You will stay stuck. So figure out a way to learn the skill that you don't know how to do. If you stink at social media, go figure it out. Guess what? There's YouTube, ChatGPT. You can YouTube or ChatGPT anything and it will tell you how to do it. So if you don't know how to do it, I can't remember. You guys are thinking it's so dumb. I was like trying to unscrew a door from a hinge the other day because my husband was gone. And I was like, oh, I'm going to YouTube this. I don't even know how to do this. I've got to get the right tool, apparently. But I did. I figured it out because I went to YouTube. But because that's my nature. But it's also one of the reasons why I've been as successful as I've been in my career is because I never waited for somebody to spoon feed me a single thing. So really skilling up. Okay, last thing on my list is to create a pack mentality. So I want you to look around the room. This is a pack of people. You guys are amazing leaders. This is a great team. What if you created a pack mentality in this room and there was no leader left behind? Every one of you went on your Passport Fast Track trip together. Every one of you hit your next rank together. Every one of you got another bonus together. Especially the passport. Like, this is such a pack thing, right? Because all of you that are working on the headquarters trip, you can all go together if you'll stick together and push each other. Be the power partner, not the pity partner, right? And then big things can happen. Same thing with the Bora Bora people. Same thing with those of you going to Director's Invitational. Ooh, that trip's gonna be so good, by the way. So good.
Did you just say when the Director's Invitation was going?
It's you'll hear about it at convention, so it is one of the convention, it's kind of a convention announcement, but it's lovely.
I love this about create a pack mentality because, to be honest with you, I think that's what we lost. I really do. I feel like that's what we've lost in the last few years.
Yeah. It's easy to do.
It's like, I'm going to do it, and then they didn't bring anybody else along.
Yeah. I'm true leaders, right? They reach behind and just grab everybody and bring them with them. And so that's the thing. So if you think about it in this room, if you create a pack mentality, what would happen if there wasn't a single leader left behind? Even the person in here who either has done the least, is scared the most, has never been on social media, what if that person got to go to the headquarters trip? Because what would that mean? Like, that's a whole lot of lives changed in a room. So I want to close with that, and then just again, I want to say September 4th is a really big day. So I know I started with that, so I didn't hear this, but lives are going to change. X 2.0 is going to launch officially on September 4th. Likely, it'll be at 11 a.m. Mountain, guessing.
Okay, I was gonna say, I already have it in my calendar, but I didn't know what time.
I'm guessing Oliver likes to do calls around 11 a.m., but this will be I will have a graphic probably by the time I get home made because it's on my list of things to do. But I would expect it to not look like anything else. I would expect the announcement to be something you can't even imagine. And I would expect you to start thinking and dreaming about whatever you have done in the past, just double it. Because we're about to explode. So, it's going to be big. You get to hear about it this week.
I have children.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, Jules.
Yeah.
Where are you going? That she gets to hear about it.
Yeah.
I am. Is it next week?
Yeah. She's like, is that call next week? Yes, it is.
Oh, the call.
I mean, I can't even be on it and I know what it is.
Jana's just trying to sit still without sweating over here because
Somewhere.
it's good.
Be careful with your loose lips.
But are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Uh-huh. It's going to be good. So anyway, I want to close with that. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for you to be on the call. Do whatever you can to get every brand partner on your team on that call because it will change everything. It's going to be great. And I will turn it back over to Jana.
Oh my gosh.